King of Bowling. Year number 6. We're winding down one more week after this, Jen.
You got it. And it's been a fabulous year with shots just like that.
You bet. Time and time again, the big ball is coming through in the clutch, but our king, our continual king, I guess I should say, David Callery, a little less impressive with the hook, but very impressive with the scores.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, through this year, I believe he's averaging 233 through 9 shows, perhaps 10 anyway. He's just had great scores, and he's just down to opponents left week after week.
Ron Bohnert, right lane, going a little bit light, and leaving the 3-pin. Single pin spare for Ron, shouldn't be any problem. But we've seen it week after week, righty against lefty. Both players will not influence the other's shot too much because they're playing on different surfaces. Same lane, but different area. And Ron covers this one.
This will make it, I believe, week number 11. He's going after 11 championships. We've got some good players on the show today. We'll have to see what happens. And then, of course, next week we're going to have the finals.
Coleraine Bowl will be the scene for the finals, and this, of course, is our Stumps show. All these qualifiers posted their numbers over at Stumps Lanes in Bridgetown.
Mike McDonald, the fine proprietor over there, and his son Ryan stopped by to check out the show this morning.
The left-hand lane, lane 19, treats Ron Bohnert kindly on that shot. Both players now seem a little comfortable, even in shadow balls. Jen, they both look very, very at ease, more so than a lot of days.
And they've both been on before, so I don't think nervousness will play a factor today.
Not really. You know what I'm noticing with Nick, though? Let's see if we can pick it up here on this ball. He's not really hitting the ball as hard as we've seen him. A little more mellow with the roll. Now 6-pin, second one from the right-hand side of your screen. Right here. Just the wrong angle. Goes to the channel, tries to come out, but can't get there. 10-pin, cross lane, and he makes it.
Our year-to-date average on the show for all of our contestants through 60 games is average of 217.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
It's one of the best markets, ladies and gentlemen, in the viewing audience. I've been all over the country, and I make it a point when I'm in a town to try to look up any local bowling programming. And when I find it, it's not of the caliber that you're used to seeing week after week here on BPA King of Bowling. So just enjoy it. It's a pleasure for me and Jennifer to bring it to you week after week, and we appreciate your support.
Absolutely, and this is such a great game, bowling. I'm so proud of it. I've been involved with it many years, as have you, and I think it's a great sport, and it's a lot of fun, and y'all should get out and try it. And by the way, summer leagues are starting up right about this time. And they're getting some interesting formats now for summer leagues. So, you know, a lot of bowlers say, oh, I don't want to bowl in the summer, I bowled all winter. But they're doing such fun formats like Dutch doubles and things of that sort that it's really fun.
Yes, and they still have those beer frames.
Oh, absolutely.
The bar is open all year round, and they're serving up that 14K.
You got it.
Beautiful Shanley products. Ron Bohnert, right-hand lane. Absolutely stuffs it straight back for the first double of the match.
These guys really throw some ball, don't they?
Sure do. Ron Bohnert, we can see it right here, takes the ball out to around the 8th board and then lets it roll back in. 1-2 pocket filled up.
Perfect.
Absolutely correct, Jen. Every pin doing its job. 10 in the pit. Ron Bohnert, left-hand lane. Lanes 19 and 20 are the scene of the activity today.
I haven't detected those green socks today, have you?
Unfortunately,
yeah, unfortunately. Oh, they're here.
They're there. There you caught a
There they are.
Oh, Ron Bohnert, another strike for the first triple of the match.
By the way, we want to get a shot of Michelle Brown in a few minutes here. She has been with this tournament for a couple years now, and she's such a fine person to run it. She's really organized, and she does a super job, and we'd really like to thank her. And by the way, she did purchase those socks. Might be the only mark against her.
I was going to say, I'm not so sure I'd be quick to give her the credit for that.
It was a joke, but what turned out to be a joke was no joke because Ron Bohnert shot back-to-back 300s with those socks and a couple 800s, and that ain't funny.
It's worth a few bucks, I'll tell you that.
Oh,
there we
wow.
go. That's the power that we're used to seeing out of Nick Vogelgesang for his first double. Take a look at it here. We call it the hacksaw, rip rack, whatever you want to say. The action pin will be the second one. Middle one in the back of the head pin right there. Now watch it go into the 7. Just absolutely takes it out, cross-body block. And the score reflects the power of the ball, keeps him in the match. He's 11 pins down at this particular moment. A double on Bohnert makes it 21. We've got a match, as we do most weeks here, Jen.
Wow. Super bowling. That makes 3 in a row for Ron Bohnert. 4 in a row, correct me.
Okay,
Spare
4 in a
up in
row.
the first. Nick, of course, on a double with 2 spares up in the second and third and a strike in the first.
Man you're looking at has been on the show several times this year. Yet to win the kingship, but he's got an opportunity this week, and of course if he can qualify for the finals for next week, he could be back. But Ron Bohnert now throwing 5 strikes in a row, and he keeps that 21-pin lead alive.
Both of these gentlemen are young, 22 for Nick and 24 for Ron, so you can be sure this won't be the last we'll see of them.
Look out. Ball almost held up there, Jen. Looked like it was going to run up high to me, and he gets away and leaves a 4-pin. Should be an easy spare for Nick. But he loses the momentum of the strikes.
That's right. And with Ron on so many strikes in a row, 5 now, he's going to need to start striking or hope for disaster from Ron, which at this point doesn't look evident.
No, he looks very, very... Look out. Don't see that too often. Got the ball down very short on the lane, didn't take it away, and it hooked up early on him.
You really have to really watch those pins. Something that's so simple as a 4-pin, you just take it for granted. You get up and throw. You have to watch your mark, and you have to execute a good shot. There we go.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if we're going to air the tip today, but I recorded a tip on exactly that, Jen, that we're going to be doing. It's a spare shooting system that you should always adhere to. After all, we're dealing with math out there, folks. So
right.
The lane doesn't change, the distance, the wheel is always the same, and the pins don't move around too much. So once you find out where you should play for your strike target, you can adjust off of that for each and every spare on the lane. So good luck and work on it. Whoa.
Left-hander's washout.
The 137. And as you pointed out, Jen, it is a washout. And I think a couple of weeks ago you mentioned your movement to make this particular one. What was it again?
Well, I normally, depending on how slick the lanes are, I will go strike target, usually anywhere from 5 to 7 boards right with my feet.
There you go. That's one way to try it.
Left, rather. I'm sorry. That would really confuse. Left with your feet. You want to change the trajectory
There you
of the
go.
ball. Perfect. In his case is what I was thinking.
That's right. Well, we got to talk to him about it. Take a look at it here. He obviously did as you said, Jen. Made the proper moves. Went with the ball to throw the head pin right there over into the 7. Perfect combination. That's the way you do it. 157 in the 6th frame for Ron Bohnert with that pickup. And that gives him a 41-pin advantage but 3 frames yet to go. Looks unstoppable to me, Jen.
Yeah, he's really looking sharp today. Looks very confident. Of course, 5 in a row will get you there, won't it? However, Nick, if he goes all the way out, can still shoot 236. So that means Ron will have to fill some frames at least.
Look at this shot, Jen. This is the power shot again. Head pin, center of your screen, going to go to the left-hand wall and come off the wall and do some heavy-duty damage. Twirls around, necks at the 7 pin, and then careens off to get the 5. That's the spin, the power of the ball. Not really what he would want to see today. Looks like he's going around the ball a little bit too much to me.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree that 6-pin every now and then is just laying right in that channel.
The best he can do at this point, even if he strikes out in the 10th frame, would be 225. Up 215. Can't even get there. So for all intensive purposes, if Ron doesn't hit his ankle a couple of times here, he can be moving along to match number 2.
Ron has 6 300 games to his credit and also 3 800s. And of those 6 300s, 2 of them were back-to-back.
Got a little lazy with the ball. He just wanted to throw it down there and get it in the air. He leaves us 6-8. The right-hander's 4-9.
Well, if Nick can strike out, he'll at least, saying that he misses this, which it's not a real easy spare. If he makes it, he just has the match locked.
Right. If not, Nick would have to strike out in the 10th, and Ron, all he would have to do is mark. That's the situation. How quickly it can change in match play competition.
Especially with that 9th and 10th frame. 60 pins total in the 9th and 10th frame to be had.
There you go. Right there you can look at it. If Ron Bohnert, any kind of a mark, and any kind of a count on the next ball, and he locks it up. But if he opens, Nick Vogelgesang could strike out to win. Let's watch. He's got to have a mark to sew it up.
Relatively easy spare, but we did see Nick miss the right-hander's version of this. But I'm sure in this type of situation, Ron will have no problem covering it.
There you see some of the new equipment here at Coleraine Bowl.
It's looking good.
It is looking good.
And of course, if you haven't been over to Stumps, go and see all the new remodeling that they've done. And I understand they're going to put in a new air conditioning system, and they're going to town over there. Well, that'll lock it up with a 1-pin count.
Barring throwing one in the channel, Ron Bohnert will move along to match number 2. And I've only seen him do that a couple of times, and none of those times have been when he needs one to win.
Do you think since he's playing such an outside line, he'll adjust a little bit just to make sure he doesn't get anywhere near? Yeah,
there you go.
Just to be sure.
You bet. And Ron Bohnert becomes the winner of match number 1, and he'll move into match number 2 here in just a few minutes.
Nick Vogelgesang, we're going to say goodbye to him, but perhaps we'll see him next week in the finals. He is a 220 average bowler, and he's had 12 300 games. And he bowls out of Durban Bowl.
Wait a minute. How many 300 games?
12 of them.
Wow.
Started bowling at the age of 3. That could be the earliest I've ever seen anybody or heard of anybody starting.
Well, he can finish out here with a fine game, but today it's going to fall short. One more strike, and he can finish with that 215 that we talked about, Jen. But it's not going to be enough. Ron Bohnert already in the clubhouse with 223. Well, there you have it. Nick Vogelgesang striking out in the 10th frame for 215. Ron Bohnert, our winner, with 223. Stick around. We'll be right back.